guys, welcome back to the pod. I'm your host, Emelita,
And I'm your host, Gina, and this is Candid Convos.
and we're so happy to have you back with us chilling this week. We do have a couple topics. We don't have any chisme, so we're just going to get into our topics today, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let's do this.
So we were poor. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, growing up poor. dot, dot, dot.
Yeah.
Oh my God, imagine we title that. We're going to make a lot of people mad. No, we were talking about how as a kid or in our childhoods, you don't realize, I guess until you realize it, that you might not have as much money as other kids in your class or at the school or whatever. And we were just making like a list of things, just going back and forth about things we thought. And honestly, some of them are still luxury, like considered luxury,
Oh, yeah.
you know? I will still go to someone's house and be like, damn, they got a double door fridge that opens
This
up
all
like
you right here?
dog.
It don't smell like roaches in here or nothing.
This all you? That shit nice. No, I like still will be like, ooh, they got money. I don't know why. And like it's to like my core. Like I can't stop.
It's like when you
point it out
when
to
you
them.
got invited to someone's house and then you went up and you're like, holy shit! Like
They
this
got a
is
pantry?
crazy. They got a fully stocked pantry? What?
Go to Costco.
They have. Sorry, that was rude of my
I
dryer.
was like, what was that?
They have 4 different cereal boxes and they're all open.
All open.
I mean,
Girl.
that's living large. If you got every cereal
extra
box
large.
open. Yeah.
Double extra large. What are other things? So we're pretty much just gonna go back and forth and go down our list.
It was
And
funny
it'll
because
probably
like
spark
so
other
many of the
things.
things that you had put, I had on one when I was thinking of it too, and I was like, oh shit, like, but it's like it's dead ass though. It's the same.
It's like a societal thing.
One of the main ones was
General.
the 2-story house or even just a house with AC.
Oh yeah.
Never, I had never had a house with AC.
Me neither until we moved to
an
but, like,
apartment
as an adult. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't even the first apartment in that had it. It was the second one.
Dude, it was AC was something, and I don't know why, like as a kid, it was always just like, oh, we're struggling through summer. Like,
yeah,
Otter Pops.
Ooh.
I would literally freeze bags of, I would like get water or put ice in a Ziploc bag. Just kind of hold it on me until it would melt, and then I'd bite the corner off and just drink the cold ass water.
Running through the sprinklers. Oh my God.
I used
to love that shit.
Yeah. Like we
actually,
used to
it was
games.
a hose, but we had an attachment that made it come out like sprinklers. So that's why I would call it.
That's luxury too.
Girl, no, that shit was cheap as hell.
I didn't get none of that. They were like, use your thumb, like use your finger and spray it out.
And the next person you go right through. Having an actual slip and slide.
Oh my God.
Who? Not like a tarp or something?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I wouldn't know.
No, AC was even actually in my car. Like my first.
Oh, for real? That actually works? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like one will work and then the other one won't. So in like the winter, if the heater doesn't work, you're freezing. But if it's the other way, it's in the summer, you're hella hot.
Yeah, no, the first
one
time
or the other.
With the first car, we turned on like the air. It's not even AC. It wasn't an AC. It just didn't have it. But the vent, we turned it on, and that shit hadn't been turned on in so fucking long. I swear, black shit was flew. I thought it was bugs. I was like, what the
like in the bird movie.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
was it
yeah,
bird box or something?
It was bad. I used to work like it would be 5 minutes away from where we lived at the time. From work or from my house to the job, I'd already be sweating in the summer.
Hell no. You're because, like,
yeah, you know when you open the door and you can see the heat waves coming out of the car? It was bad. And at the time,
you're cooking in there.
No, literally, I show up to work sweating.
They're like,
it was just so good walking into full-blown AC.
Right. Just to get hot working.
Yeah, I used to tell the girls, I was like, because at the time there was like a little short period of time where I was the only one who was driving, and I was like, just so you know, when we get to the car, open the doors and we're gonna have to stand outside for a little bit, let the heat get out, and then we'll get in.
Let it regulate.
Yeah, so they had to struggle a little bit with that too because my car didn't have it.
I mean, you want the ride or not.
Exactly. And then when I got AC, I was like, oh my God, like this is
Luxury.
crazy.
Like I've waited so long for this.
Yeah.
And then it's like you want to go more places because you're like, "Ooh, it's gonna be
Yeah,
comfortable."
it's not gonna be a struggle now.
Yeah.
We're not dying fucking about to dehydrate in this
And
car.
it's like it's not even something aesthetic, like, oh, I want my speakers done, or I want like the
No.
windows tinted. Like, I just wanted air. Like that was
Breathable air.
oh my god. Okay. Let's just stick with houses for now because we have a lot.
Yeah.
Why why even as kids we were like, ooh, about houses and shit. It makes so much sense when we did our Zillow stuff.
Oh yeah.
We've
Damn,
been
that's
pointing
true.
this shit out since kids. Okay, so going off the fridge too, like not just the double one, but the one that had like a freezer drawer pull out.
The bottom part.
Yes,
Yeah. I was
crazy. Or
like,
like the one that has like the water, the ice machine, the one that
yes.
had like crushed or cubed. Stop it.
Uh-huh.
Don't give me a
Okay.
choice.
I'm like,
Crushed.
wait, what? Are you sure? Should I? Is it okay? Like,
I know. I'm
can I
like,
use
it might
it?
take a while. Oh, it's okay. I'm good. Oh my God. Okay. Let's see. Oh, like houses with a separate tub, not where the tub and the shower are together, but like they have a separate tub and then like like a
Oh,
shower
like
too.
the standalone ones.
Yes,
That's
standalone
still
shower
luxury.
tubs. Oh yeah, for sure.
That's still luxury. Like when I see those, I'm like, I always see different versions. I'm like, oh, that would be so nice. I would definitely put that one in my house. And then I
Yeah.
see a different kind. I'm like, oh no, that one's better. Like I would put that one, but they're
Like
just
we
so
have money
nice.
to be building a
Yeah.
house. Or like the ones that are in front of a window. I'm like, oh my God, I could just sit there and just, I could see myself there.
Yeah. Do a
But then
little
also
bubble
kind of
bath.
creepy.
I would
Kind
want to
of
get those windows that like you can see out of, but they can't see into, you
exactly.
know?
Yeah. I forgot what it's called. No. I was gonna say
Oh God.
polarized. It's like
Um,
the two-way, like a
yeah.
two-way type thing.
Is it two-way or one-way?
Reflective. Because basically reflects on the outside.
Guys, we clearly don't know what we're talking about. We've never had these
We
things.
want
We're trying to figure it out.
it. We want it. We just don't know what it's called. Y'all know what
Yeah.
we're talking about.
Yeah, but you
It's
guys
like
know what we're trying to say.
you can get it on cars too.
Oh, you know what well, I didn't start seeing these till like a little bit later, not like kids, but maybe teenagers,
Mhm.
was the passcode door locks.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Those where I was
I
like,
feel like when we were young, they weren't like a thing.
I don't think they had them yet. But like
It
so
was too
once
luxury for where we lived.
yeah. But when I first seen those, I was like, what? That's pretty
Crazy. Like you
that's
don't even need a key.
yeah.
So you don't even have a hide a key, like a
There's no
rock.
hidden rock.
Why would people put that shit under their doormat?
I don't know. That's the main place people are gonna look.
Like the wind blows and that shit could be gone. Like what the fuck are you doing? Or like in the house or like the plant next to the door. Like
You gotta be a little bit more creative with it.
gotta be quicker than that. Have you ever been to someone's house where they had like the fake fruit bowl?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
that was hella luxury because I'm like, for what? Like for
I
what?
couldn't the thing with those though is like you can't let me know that it's the fake ones because I used to love playing with them and then
Same.
I'd leave a dent. Or like I think I
Because they're styrofoam.
yeah. And I'm like, oh sorry, like here you go, here's your grape
Definitely done
back
that.
and it's half
Your
dented.
grapes, and they're all crunched. Like the popcorn shit that comes when you get a package. They're
Yeah.
all
I was like, oh sorry. And you can't fix it, it's done. It's like you
yeah,
just gotta
where's the
turn it.
juice?
Yeah, you gotta just you just gotta turn it a little bit so you don't see it no more.
Right. Fold it over and just
Sorry,
was
excuse
not
me.
me. Is there a rat in here? I just never
I put
understand
my
the
tooth into it
purpose.
one time.
Your tooth?
Yeah, like I knew it was fake, but like,
Oh, you still went for
I don't
it?
know. I think it was like an intrusive thought,
Oh,
and
got
it's
the
just
better
like
of
I
you.
had to like try it. Yeah.
Right. That's a good episode too. We should do one on that too.
Intrusive thoughts.
Yeah. But I seen this one. It
Mine's are
was
kind
like,
of dark.
what's the difference between impulsive thoughts and intrusive thoughts? And I said, intrusive thoughts are the ones that you don't act on.
Yeah.
Impulsive thoughts are the ones that you do. Like, um,
I
I
feel
can't
like
think
making
of
the
an
most like
example.
random noise out of nowhere or something.
Yes,
That's an
impulse.
impulsive thought. It just comes
Right,
out, you
right,
know?
right.
Or like a dance move. Like you just hit something really quick and it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
you just gotta let it out. Like let the
yeah.
energy that's festering inside you out. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get you. But
Yeah.
like the intrusive ones are the ones like
The
can
dark
only
ones.
tell certain people because then they
Yeah.
have you committed, you know?
They're pretty twisted.
Yeah. We don't act on those.
Tell it to the wrong person and they're looking like they're never gonna think of you the same again.
Right. And like how fucking awkward would have be if like we're having a conversation, right? And I tell you an intrusive thought and you're like, yeah, no. And I'm like,
Like, ooh.
all right, I gotta go.
So, anyways,
My rights here, gotta go.
yeah. My Uber just showed up.
I just called it. It's already here. Okay, let's see. I think that's it for the
For
house
houses.
stuff that we got.
Oh, okay, but this is something that like people had in their house that when
Uh-huh.
I went there, I thought was like, oh, and it would make the night so much fun was a Wii.
Oh my God, yep.
Like, and one of my friends, she
Yep.
had not even just the Wii, but then she got when they came out with that Wii mat that like it was like you could step on it and there was games that you would do running and then you have to like
Never
jump.
seen that.
It was,
Never
I
heard
mean, when she got it and we went to her house that night,
best.
probably all freaking night. All night
Yeah.
we were doing it. I was like, this is crazy.
Or
It
where
changes the whole atmosphere.
you could put the controller in like the steering wheel for the driving.
Oh, I never got to try one of those, but those looked so
That
fun.
one was fun. I never had it, but definitely I had some cousins that did have it and
Uh-huh.
luxury. Lots of
Yeah.
fun though. It makes like because most of the time as a kid you have to kind of make up your own game or like make up your own fun.
Yeah.
But those types of games they just get you because you're being hella active. And I feel
Yeah.
like it wasn't as bad as some of the other video games that you could have been playing.
Right. No,
You
I
know?
think it was literally like well, I don't know if it was Mario. Like I remember playing the Mario Kart. I remember my cousin's house, they had the Nintendo where you
Uh-huh.
can play like Super Mario World or something, and that
Yeah.
was really crazy. But I don't remember on the Wii what it was, but it was like a level game. Like you had to, it was like obstacle
Like
course
their own
type thing.
version. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Or the
I love
Just
Just
Dance.
Dance.
Oh
Yes,
my
I
God.
love Just Dance.
I never had it like as a kid, but
Me
there was
neither.
another friend that she had it, and whoo, that shit was so much fun.
The
It was so
best.
much fun.
The freaking most
Yeah. I
fun.
only had one friend that had it at the time, but it was
Yeah.
so cool.
I honestly think we should buy one just to have like all the Just Dances because we play them on YouTube all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And why not get the points for it and like actually battle each other, you know?
It's so good.
I seen a recording on TikTok of this girl who was one of the Just Dance dancers or she is
Mhm.
now and like seeing them put her in like the whole costume and everything cuz you know how they kind of have like different makeup and like different
Yeah.
colors that they put together. It
Gloves or
really,
something.
yeah, it was actually really cool to see her like record for it. I don't know why that came up on my TikTok, but
You said Just Dance one time, and they're like, "Oh, gotta put it in the
gotcha.
algorithm." Yeah.
I'm in the Just Dance TikTok algorithm from playing it on YouTube because I'm too cheap to have the actual game.
Yeah. Oh, another one was the Tamagotchi. Like
Yeah, I
when
never
those
had
came
one.
out, I never had. Okay, and keep in mind, like later when the Nintendo DS came out, my brother did get me that for my
I
birthday, so
had
I
that
did
too.
had
Yeah,
one,
I
and
had that one too.
that's pretty luxury. Like I
I
was like,
loved it. I would
no,
have one now
obsessed.
if I could.
Yeah, I
Loved it.
we found it, but I think we didn't have like the charger for it or whatever, or the
Yeah,
games or something. But I remember,
little pick.
yeah, the sound of it turning on. Dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
And
It's so
like the pick
nostalgic.
hitting the thing like
Yeah.
oh, I loved it. I felt like a little, I don't even know, like a little secretary being able to
It
like
was
sign
so fun.
stuff or like
Or
write.
like when you draw and like
Yes, Nintendogs was my shit. I
I
had
didn't have that.
Nintendogs.
Someone, this girl, which she should never have, thinking about it now, she should never have let me borrow this game. But she let me borrow her Hannah Montana game.
Oh, mm-mm.
That shit was so much fun.
Oh yeah.
I was like, and I loved Hannah Montana at the time too, so I was even
Yep.
more obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know that you're getting this back. I think she did ask for it back, and I might have. I can't remember to be
Like
honest,
it's
but I know I
broken.
had it for a while.
Can't tell you what happened to it, but it broke.
I
It's
know I had
broken.
the Mario Kart and the Super Mario World,
Uh-huh.
and Then my friends had got this like alien game, and I still can't find it to this day because I remember trying to look for it and what it was. But it was this like alien game, and we were hooked on that one for a while too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any other
I had
game that
strawberry shortcake. I had Nintendogs. I had Cooking Mama. Loved
Oh,
loved Cooking Mama because you would use the little pick to do the stirring and stuff. Oh, I
uh-huh.
loved it. I loved it so much.
That sounds so
I
fun.
fucking loved it so
The
much.
only Cooking Mama I know was like a website on the computer, but it was like it was like a twisted. I think it was actually called Twisted Cooking Mama or something like that.
Oh,
So
shit.
like you had to kill the turkey and pluck the feathers
Oh my
and
god,
cut
Gina,
up its neck and head, and like
what the fuck?
that's what I thought Cooking Mama was.
Gina,
I swear on
this
everything. That's the
explains
only
so much about you.
like I didn't know there was a legit
Like a
like
normal one?
a normal one.
Wow.
But that sounds really fun though.
Trauma. I'm sorry. I
And you
never
even
knew
hear
they had
it
a
even makes the sound. It like blacks out the screen, but you hear and then you go straight and then you just go straight to the game part where you have to start
like,
cutting
all
it
right,
up.
let's cook. Let's feast.
Literally, yeah.
I'm done. That's hella funny.
But the Tamagotchi was one that I was like,
Yeah,
what? You
I
have to
never
keep it
had one.
alive? No, I never had
And
one
they
of those
still have
either.
them to this day.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
Yeah.
It's
I
kind of
wonder if
crazy.
kids at that age play with them now. Well, I guess someone has to keep them in business.
Would
Should we get one?
the Nintendo Switch be the same as like be not the same, but the newer version of the Nintendo DS?
I guess because it's portable.
And
I
like,
think that was like the whole point. Besides like a Game Boy, because then they were different games.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Because you can also connect it to the TV, which is really freaking cool with the
The
Switch.
DS?
No, the
Oh,
Switch.
I was like, girl, what? Why the fuck didn't I know that? We gotta get one of them hoes.
Yeah. Oh, it would be so cool if you could like play with people, like if we were at our houses or something, and we could
Right,
just
like
play with each other.
virtually.
Yeah, that would be
That would
hecka
be really
cool.
fun. I wonder, there has to be some kind of system that you can get that you could do that now.
I don't know about
Well, I guess like
Nintendo.
Xbox, they have like
Yeah,
live or whatever the fuck.
but I don't
Mm.
think
Do
Nintendo
they
does
already have
it.
this?
We're just super fucking
We're just really
like
behind.
unknowledgeable on the game world. If Alcy was to hear me right now, he'd be like, "Duh, we
Like,
have."
actually, shut the fuck up. You just sound stupid. Well,
Yeah,
that's
good
why
thing.
we need him to answer the questions in the
Yeah, good
background.
he's
Like, if
not
you
here
guys
right
ever
now.
notice someone answering in the background,
And we're like, "Oh, okay."
thank you so much. We phone a friend that's
Fucking
in the room.
fly.
Shoe fly don't bother me. Is that what you said?
No, but that's what I mean. That's what I want.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. Let's see.
Oh, another one. Okay. So like I don't know how other people did it, but when the school year would start, I had like a budget. Okay, we're going to go do some clothes shopping. You
Right.
get one new pair of shoes and
Right.
then that's separate from like the school supplies, right? So it
Oh,
was like I think it was maybe like $200, like $200 or something. This is what you have for your new clothes. So
okay.
we'd go to the mall and like, pick up the clothes and stuff. And
Right.
I remember at the time Hollister was like a really big the shirts, the sweaters, like
An
it was
Aeropostale, Abercrombie.
Aeropostale, yes, like
Abercrombie and Fitch too. Like those
yes.
three, I feel like were similar in
It
that
was
way.
like all at the same time.
Yeah.
So all of those stores at the time, I was like, oh, like let me try to get some stuff there. Like everyone's wearing it, right?
Yeah. One
And then we
hoodie.
went. I seen how much it was for like one sweater. And I
Yeah.
was like, I can't use my whole damn near half my budget on this
Literally.
one sweater. I need
You've
it for
always
the
been a
year.
budgeting queen, and I love that about you.
I had no other choice.
I know. Your parents, even so, like they would have looked at you like, girl, we're not getting that.
Yeah. No, they did.
Yeah.
Well,
But
it would have
even
been my
so,
mom.
like
My dad would
that
not
would have
go.
been out of your budget, but still she would have been like, you're not getting that.
Be like, if that's really what you want to spend the money on, like, and you get two other things after this,
Right, you're gonna be shit out of luck.
yeah, you do
On,
that.
like, the
But
third week of fucking school and you have nothing.
and it's like you wear all your new clothes in that first week. And
For
now you're
3
just like,
days, this is a brand new outfit. I got nothing now. I got nothing to
can't
show
even
for
use
myself.
them. Yeah.
No,
So
I
like those, yeah, definitely those three. All of those were like, whoa, you got money if you can have
luxury.
multiples of those
Yeah, or
brands.
like the Victoria's Secret hoodies with the like
Yeah.
crystals all over them and shit.
Yeah.
I had the yoga pants, but they weren't even mine. My sister gave them to me, and she got them from someone else. So like
I think I had one pair too, and then the other ones that I had, because it was like those yoga pants that
that
would
fold
fold
over,
over,
they're
and
back
it
in
was flared
style.
at the bottom. Are they?
They're literally back in style. They have them at Victoria's Secret. I've been seeing it all
I
over.
loved those yoga
I
pants.
love them
They
too.
had
They're
me in a
so
chokehold.
comfortable. They
Yeah.
You have to go get a pair.
No, actually, because
Maybe like get like a coupon and then maybe find like a reward and then maybe
yeah.
like
But I was gonna say because the other ones I would get from like Wet Seal or something like the cheaper
I'll
version
see
of it.
through.
So it would say something else. Yeah, it was hella see through.
I'll see through.
And you'd have to
It
like
says
it would say
ass
something
across
else on
your
the freaking back. Yeah.
happy girl. Good vibes. Oh
And we
my god.
wonder why we have all these fucking these sayings now and these quotes. We grew up with that shit on our fucking clothes.
Or like when you go to Forever 21 and you're like, oh, this is hella cute. You look at the back and it says Barbie. Like, what the
Taco
fuck?
Tuesday. I'm like, I can't wear this without a jacket now.
Yeah, and like, why did I'm not buying it now?
That was my place to go
Oh,
though,
funny.
because at that time too, in junior high, it was like you'd have the the colored tank top
Yes.
underneath the black or white V-neck, and then you'd have the headband that would match with the tank top
Or
and the
multiple
belt.
tank tops depending on how many colors you had because you had to have
Mhm.
both if that was the
You
case.
layered. It was
Exactly.
all about the layers.
Yes. And
And
color
then
coordination
yeah,
on point.
it was like black and red, white, black and
Yes.
red, you
Purple,
know.
black and purple.
Mhm. I kind of miss
This
those times. Then you
honestly,
that's when the whole scrunched hair straight bang, you
like
have the
wet
headband,
bangs that
hoops.
like you just washed your hair to scrunch it.
Uh-huh.
Now you're just gonna straighten those and you see the
Yeah.
sizzle and the fizzle and the fucking the
And
steam.
I couldn't get it always right sometimes. So like sometimes my bangs would flip like
Yes.
out instead of in like that. And it was the
Right.
biggest struggle to
Yep.
get them to perfectly like whoop,
And
right
even
there.
if they looked perfect at home, bitch, in an hour, once the rest of my hair and the humidity and everything else poofs up,
Mhm.
these are no longer gonna look cute.
Yeah.
So we really only got ready for like the first maybe one or two classes,
Yeah.
and then by like brunch, we're already putting our hair in a bun.
So you
Or
better hope that your crush was in like that those one or two first periods
your
because
first one,
that
yeah.
way they could see it when it was crisp and not
Right.
when it was like all dingy later in the day. After
And
PE, oh my god.
forget it. Go
I got
home.
lucky that I think I had PE my last period,
I never had that.
7th grade,
Not
8th
once.
grade. Actually, I think both
Actually,
years I had it last period.
the I think eighth grade I had it in fifth period, but I know for sure
Okay.
that seventh grade I had it like first or second,
Oh,
and then in high school I only took 1 year of PE actually at school, but I definitely had first period, and I fucking hated it.
I had 8 period PE.
A period.
Yeah.
Fuck. Did you guys swim?
We did. I don't know if it was A period. Because that's freshman year. So it wasn't, I didn't have A period freshman year.
Yeah.
Um, I think I had it 4th period. So right before lunch.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because shit, having it first, I was like, oh my god, swimming sucked, and it was our
Yeah.
first unit, so it was cold as fuck.
Yeah.
I hated it. Not luxury.
It's
Not
so
luxury
funny.
at all.
It's so funny too because they had freshmen out there looking so dumb. Like you would go out there with your hair soaked, like your shirt,
Yep.
your clothes were still wet from your hair.
Yeah.
And then you literally had maybe like
Like
10
10
minutes to
minutes.
rinse off, change from wet clothes into dry
Yeah.
clothes, where
Right.
there's multiple other people changing. You're in a rush to get
Exactly.
ready for your next period. And then it was like we had that biology project that was you had to catch bugs. So you
Oh
have all these
yeah.
freshmen out here walking around with fucking nets all
Right.
over the
I never did
campus.
that.
I never did it at school because I was too embarrassed. I was like,
I
I'm
never
not,
had to do that project.
you
We
didn't
didn't
have
do
bio?
that. I had bio. We didn't do that.
What?
I used to see all the other kids, and I was
Yeah.
gonna say his name. The teacher I had didn't have us do that.
God bless him. He
Yeah,
knew. It had you the thing was is
we love
like you
teachers.
would literally see people out there running around with their
Yes,
nets. And I was just like, I just can't. I'm not doing that.
You look like
Like, I know
SpongeBob
I'm
with the
not like,
fucking jellyfish.
yeah, I was like, I know I'm not the coolest kid, but I'm not
But
gonna
this
be
ain't
that
helping.
kid. Yeah, like, I'm not
This is
doing
not
that.
helping my case at all.
Okay, so another one that was at school. This was more elementary school though. So like, you know, when there was like Valentine's days or there was,
A
you
little
know, the right
party.
before, yeah, or like right before Christmas break or winter break,
Yeah.
um, you could have little goodie bags and you would do the
Mhm.
Valentine's cards and stuff.
They were so cute.
I loved those days. I thought they
Me
were
too.
so cool. And then like if you had a little crush, you'd put like an extra heart or like an extra
Right. Extra
sticker.
sticker. Yeah.
Yeah. That was like kind of the most though that like I would get to do was the little cards and like maybe a
Right.
lollipop or something.
If the cards came with candy to put with
Exactly,
it,
yeah.
then yeah. But I
So
wouldn't
then that
buy
was like
like
the
extra
gist
candy.
of it.
Mhm.
Some people came with like full goodie bags,
Goodie
which
bags.
I was very excited about, but I
Yeah.
was like, how did
On the
you make
receiving end, it
36?
felt good.
Yeah. I'm like 36 of these?
Yeah.
I
Their
can't I
mom definitely made them. It wasn't the
yeah.
kids.
Yeah, and I'm like that's a lot of money. Like
Right.
that must have been a lot of money.
Hmm. It's crazy because you can tell like certain kids, like for the parents who are in PTA and stuff, it was
Uh-huh.
usually those kids who came with, or those kids of those parents that
Yeah.
would come with shit like that. Or
Do
like
all
their
the
their parent
extra.
was always there to help out with like the volunteering and stuff like that.
Yes,
Yeah, like
yeah.
you got used to those parents being around. I wonder
And when
how
like it
those
was their
kids felt though.
birthday, they would have like the pizza and the cupcakes and
Cupcakes.
some soda or
Yes.
juice or whatever.
It's
And I'm
crazy
like,
because like, did our parents even give permission for us to have that stuff? Because you know
you know
how
what?
some parents are like super weird about sugar?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I
I
wasn't
actually don't
telling.
remember.
I wasn't telling a soul.
No, I was like, I want pizza and I
Yeah,
want
you don't
soda.
have to feed me now. You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm like, you don't have to give me lunch today.
Exactly. You know, speaking of like lunch and all that, I wanted to get your opinion. So on Baby Mama's No Drama, I think it was last week, their episode came out and they were talking or actually, no, I think it was Coffee Convos. They were Kayla and Lindsay were talking about this thing where I guess they had like ice cream social like Fridays or something like that.
At
And
schools?
yeah, like at an elementary school, someone wrote in and was explaining and asking their opinion, but I was like, oh, I wanted to know what Gina said.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the kids have to pay $1 for the actual ice cream. Like each student has to pay $1, but they don't actually give cash. It's like whatever's on your account at school. Um, but if your account is in default, like if it's like they owe money or something like that, they are not allowed to participate. And they put out an email to all the families like telling them they're not allowed to participate, yada yada, whatever. So they were basically discluding these kids who
It's
have
already
no
pissing me off.
control. Right. No, for real. Like you have no control as a child how much
Yeah,
you have on your lunch account, let alone money in general. So why would you disclude those kids because they can't pay $1 for a fucking ice cream? Why have
if
it at
they can't
all?
pay $1, then you have to think to yourself,
Right.
this family is probably, you know, in a hard position right now.
Yeah,
Let's put aside some extra money to make up for the ones that won't be able to afford it so that
exactly.
they can still participate. Like why have a social if you can't include all of the children? It
Right.
makes no sense to do that.
Exactly. And like you do fundraising, especially in elementary school. You do
Yeah,
fundraising or like the PTA, whoever the hell does it, does fundraising for that reason to be able to. So if you can't just afford the ice cream, why are you even doing it?
exactly. I even like feel a type of way about the fact that they would make kids pay for, you know, school lunches,
An
and if they
extra
couldn't,
special treat. Like,
yeah, and if they couldn't, then they don't get to eat lunch that day. Are
yeah,
you We're here for 8 hours and you're telling
literally.
me I can't eat lunch? I have to go
Right.
all day without eating? Like
And it
that just makes
sucks.
no sense to me. How can you deny a kid food? And
Exactly.
especially like, you know, okay, private schools usually I
That's
think like they
different.
just make their own, yeah, they bring their own food anyways, but like in a public school, you're in a public school.
Yeah.
Like
And it's
it's
state
being paid for by
mandated.
the city or by the
Yeah.
state. Like
Yeah.
provide the food for these kids.
If it's mandatory for us to go to school, like it's literally against the law if you do
Right.
have schooling as an American or whatever the
Uh-huh.
fuck. I don't know how you get excluded. Don't quote us, but
Right.
as a kid, you have to go to school by a certain age. Like all of this shit is like state mandated, and I'm sure federally mandated because they want us
Yeah.
to learn all this shit, and that's like a whole last other thing. But
Hmm.
why wouldn't you be able to feed them when you spend the most time, besides sleeping, I guess, you spend
Yeah.
the most time at school with these
Yeah.
teachers and shit like that.
And then it's
And
like
if
if
it's purely
they're
because your family can't afford, what if you have four other siblings and they don't have $5 every fucking week for you to have an ice cream?
and if
Like
you
I
go home
get
and there's already not that much food there, so
it.
now you're not eating at
Exactly.
school and you're not eating at home, but
Right.
they expect you to come every single day and have like a set, like, a fully focused mind.
Yeah.
How can a kid focus when they're hungry? Like you're so
Exactly.
like
I
you
can't
have
even do
literally
that as an adult. I get
exactly
hangry.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
like how do you expect these kids to be at their best, place to learn when
Right.
they're not fully being nutrition,
Like,
like what is
yeah.
it, they're not giving that, yeah, they're not giving them that nutrition that it's like, oh well, we have to talk to your mom,
Yeah.
sorry, like
They even went
what.
as far as to putting in the email that other kids cannot basically pay or donate money to get that. Like
Why?
if me and you went and I didn't have the dollar and you were like, it's okay, like I'll just get yours. They weren't allowing
Yeah,
it.
that makes no sense. Do you want the money or not? If it's about the money,
Right.
then take the money. Like why are you
So
choosing to exclude these people, these
it's so horrible.
children?
Kids, literally kids. And
Yeah,
I get it. It's like a
and that's the
skill
worst feeling.
that you don't necessarily have to have, but if you see everyone else with it, that sucks.
Yeah.
And so I think that might have been the episode 2 weeks ago, because then they had an update last week, and I don't know if it was another listener or if it was someone just in general, but basically someone donated a fuck ton of money to that
Mhm.
school to be able to like pay for all the kids for the rest of the year.
Oh, oh,
And
bless
it's
their
just like
heart.
little things like that, like I hope your pillow is always cold when you want it. I hope that your fucking Coke is always crisp as hell when you get it. Like your Sprite, whatever the fuck you like. Your coffee always perfect temperature. You're a good
But isn't
person.
it so sad though that like it takes someone else to have to step in and
Yeah,
do that because the
absolutely
system itself is just not doing it?
fucked.
Like how
Yeah,
can you mandate recess? Like, oh, the kids have to get an
right.
hour of physical activity or
Yeah,
whatever, blah, blah, but it's not mandated that you have to feed them.
it's
That's
crazy.
so
And
confusing.
also, like, for example, free or reduced lunch programs. It's
Mhm.
amazing that they have that, but also you have to that child has to
Qualify.
rely on the parent to number
Yeah.
one fill out the like information and do
Yeah.
all of the paperwork, and they might be busy. They might be somewhere else mentally, or if they have a lot of shit going on, they're overwhelmed, they might forget about it, and then you're fucked for the rest of the
Mhm.
year. Or like you said, you have to qualify, and for
Mhm.
certain people like me, for example, my parent might have made a certain amount so they don't qualify, but it's like, okay, but that money is not just going to lunch, you know what I'm saying?
That's pretty much
It's
exactly
so
how it was for me
stupid.
too. I didn't
Yeah,
qualify for the like free or reduced,
because they make
but
too
we didn't
much.
have the money. Like it wasn't
So
there.
stupid. It's so
Yeah.
freaking stupid. And it was expensive, I think like two three some dollars a day.
A day. Yeah. And that's
Yeah,
like only for lunch, not if you wanted
exactly. Not
brunch
even
too.
brunch. I
Yeah.
always had to choose, like, I'm either gonna eat for brunch and then not for lunch, or I'm gonna eat lunch and not for brunch.
Yeah.
One or the
And
other.
that's like the thing, always kind of like, do you now have to then kind of not rely on, but like if a friend has some like, oh, can I have a
Yeah.
bite of that? Like, can I have a little
Right.
bit? Or like, oh, you don't want that? Like, I'll take it,
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just kind of like, obviously, if you have good friends and they're like, yeah, girl, like whatever, or they're gonna
Right.
share it
Whatever
anyways.
I have, you have.
Exactly,
That's just
exactly.
how it is. Yeah.
But the fact that it comes down to that, it's just messed up for the fact that kids have to worry about whether they're gonna be able to eat or not.
Exactly. No, that's just terrible. I knew you were gonna feel like that, but I was like, ooh, let me bring this up to her.
Yeah, that's so
But
fucked
for those of you guys who had monies walking into class with like outside food,
up. Oof.
girl, not only were you living large, but everyone was like, you are that girl. Like you were the it girl that day, you know?
Yeah, because you're now you got the whole classroom smelling like your
Yes.
McDonald's
They're
or
like,
like
what
whatever it
did you
was.
get?
Yeah, they're like, ooh, and you're like pulling it out the bag, like trying to make it seem like you're not like, but you're thinking
Not
it.
like hella pressed to be like, oh, let me show you.
Yeah,
In
their
the
fucking little
humblest
Happy
way.
Meal is
Yeah,
like
in
toy.
the humblest of ways.
Yeah. Or like in junior high, I think that's what it when that's kind of like when people started having Starbucks and like showing up with Starbucks drinks and
Yeah.
stuff. So
Or
when
even people dropping stuff off for lunch. I feel like it
yeah,
wasn't a huge thing in elementary, but middle school,
no.
like if your parent dropped you off for lunch, you were like, ooh, you
Oh,
good.
yeah.
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 It was such a simple time.
Oh, dude, or like if you had those few dollars, like when the ice cream man would come, like with the little ice cream cart, and he
Forget
had chips
it.
or he had drinks or something, and you
Mhm.
could just be like, oh, like let's go get some. You're like, you got it like that, like let's go.
I remember when we would go over to someone's house after school, we would all like try and bring money that day so we could get healthy
Yeah.
snacks and then go to that person's house and just kick it, not do our homework, of course, but
Oh yeah.
just hang out, watch
It was
movies.
always just like a snack. It was just a snack hangout.
Right.
Like you're all sharing chips. And
Yep.
that's like back once high school hit, then it was kind of like okay. But by that time we were working, so we would have like some extra money or
Extra.
something.
Yeah.
So it's like okay, we'd
Not
go to the
much,
7-Eleven.
but
No, not much. But
yeah.
you'd go to like the 7-Eleven and be able to get like a bag of chips.
Right.
But we were always, and that's why I've always said like I can't be friends with someone that doesn't share their food.
Oh no.
That to me is so like it's just
It's a
I
bad
get
character
your
trait.
thing, but I just could not be friends with someone like that. Since elementary, we've always been the type where it's like what, like you said, like what I got, you got, what you
Yeah,
got, I got, like we're all putting it in the middle and we're sharing.
exactly.
So like if when we went to the store and if we had money, we'd be like, okay, what are you getting? So that I don't get the same, I'll get something
Yeah,
different.
we don't both need hot Cheetos.
Exactly. Yeah.
Unless you were like hella craving, like, okay, that's all we're gonna eat. But most of the time, one person gets barbecue, one person gets fucking hot chips, whether they're fries
Uh-huh.
or puffs or whatever,
Yeah.
some type of spicy chip or takis or whatever. And then someone got like gummy candy, like sour candy or
Uh,
whatever. Such a vibe.
yeah.
Such a vibe.
It's a different time.
We actually, Chev and I went to, there's a new 7-Eleven by us. It finally
Uh,
opened. And we went in there balling, bitch. We spent $20 on some fucking snacks, but it was the best time of my life.
it's just a there's something nostalgic about just going into a 7-Eleven and be like,
Yeah.
oh, when they got this. And
And it's stocked like so nicely. Like all the labels are freaking facing front.
that's
So
beautiful.
perfect, like because it just opened.
Yeah.
See how long that lasts. But all the people that work there are super, super nice. It's pretty much the same crew every time we've gone in there.
Mhm.
But dude, I was just like, wow, it was like heavy. Like walking into a candy store, literally. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
the lights. It was all lit up so nice.
Hella bright.
Yeah, it was hella
There's
bright.
no like blinking lights in the corner.
No, it was not freaking sketches act like anything. It was so nice. And then a lot of the food too, it's like self-serve. So like for
Oh.
the like hot dogs and stuff, like you can grab it off the thing yourself. You don't have to ask them.
Oh.
It's a
Uh-huh.
nice fucking 7-Eleven. It's
Wow.
really nice for no reason. But yeah, we went in there and I got some gummies. I got rips and I got the nerd clusters because I wanted both.
Mhm.
And then some chips and a Slurpee.
Ooh, a Slurpee sounds so good.
It was great. It was
Isn't
great.
it crazy that like, well, I mean, like it kind of yesterday it actually rained a little bit, so it was more cold.
Yeah.
But last week it was so freaking hot.
For no reason. Absolutely none.
Hot weather and hopefully we're getting closer to it.
We will be
But
in some fall weather soon, baby. We'll have an update next.
oh yeah.
We'll have an update next time. But speaking of vacations,
Mhm.
did you have any kids in your class? Like I would say mostly junior high and younger, because high
Uh-huh.
school it's like kind of different. Maybe you could go with your friends or something.
Right.
But like someone who went on like family trips every year or like several times a year, every break they're talking about, oh, I'm going blah blah blah. Like,
Truthfully, no one that I was like actually really close with that
yeah,
would go. Like usually we were all kind of in the same boat
same
where it was
boat,
like,
yeah.
all right, so like we'll figure out what we can do on our break or something.
Uh-huh.
But there were kids that I knew of, like not friends, I would say, but just
That's
like
what I mean, like in your class.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and they were going like, oh yeah, we're gonna go here, and then this break we're going there, and I'm just
We're
like,
going skiing and
yeah,
whatever. And I'm like, huh? Like,
oh, I'm like, that's really cool. That sounds so fun.
Yeah, I'm like, I might get to wash
Please don't
walls
ask
and
me what
clean
I'm
the
doing.
house.
Like, I'm really happy for you, but please just don't ask me what I'm doing because I'm gonna
Right.
be like right here.
And if you ask me if I want to see pictures, my answer is no. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
You're
kidding.
like, tell me the stories, keep me cultured,
Right.
indirectly.
Yeah. But don't
So
rub
when
it in.
someone else talks about it, I might seem like I've been on these vacations, but I really haven't been.
What is that called? Like when you're using other people's like lives basically.
Living through them
Yeah.
vicariously. Yeah.
Let
So
me
like
live.
I'm fine. Let me know all the details.
Right.
But
I'm
I
gonna
just
tell this story to someone else like I did.
yes. Yeah.
Why are we like this, bro?
No, I think I literally went truthfully one vacation in elementary school
Same.
to Disneyland. And
Okay.
I that was like that was our one trip because even in high like junior high, high school, yeah, that was our one trip was Disneyland
Yeah.
when I was I think I
Disneyland.
was like 8 or 9, maybe 10.
Uh-huh. Did you like it? Do you remember liking it?
Yeah, I think I did like it. There was definitely some family drama on the trip, of course, right?
Of
You can't
course.
have a family trip without drama.
Right.
And I went on the California Screaming and it traumatized me.
Oh my God.
And then
You
we went
went
on
on
a
that on grad night though. You redeemed
yeah, that
yourself.
was like my
Got you.
redemption.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that for you. I don't do roller coasters, so I love that for you.
I think Great America kind of helped me get past the like roller coaster
Yeah.
thing. So I knew that when we went to Disney, I was like, oh no, I have to go on the California Screaming because
I was
the
never
last
that
time I was
kid.
on it, it got me. It really
Mhm.
got me.
Right. But then you got it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
did. You
And it was like, we didn't have to wait in a long line because it was a whole thing because it was just us there at that point. It was like later in
right.
the night.
I was never that kid that was like into I would barely go to Great America. Like I wasn't at well, maybe this
But
is sad. Maybe it's because I was never invited. Maybe that's why.
oh,
I'm trying to think back and I'm like, actually, I don't know that I wasn't because I didn't like it. I just wasn't one of the ones that got invited. So,
you know what though? I feel like it's always there's either like at least one, but
uh-huh.
if not two, it's two is always better if there's like the two people in the group that don't like to go on on like majority of the rides or
Together.
something. Because then it's like one, you guys could be together
Yeah.
while everyone else is on the ride, and then it's kind of like, cool, thanks for holding my
All the
stuff. Like,
stuff. Yeah.
like you're the best. I will pay for your food after this. I promise.
Right. I will share my drink with you.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I think there
Sorry, I had to
No, no,
restart
it's
it.
okay. I think the reason why I don't like them so much is because I didn't do all of that when I was a kid. So I built up a fear
Mm,
because I'm so
yeah.
like not involved in it, I guess. So
Yeah,
I've
that makes
had
sense.
time to build up a fear and hear stories and see shit and all of this stuff that makes me way, way want to be away from it
Yeah.
even more. But
There's
I
really
feel like it
bad
also
stories out
comes from
there.
like not having that experience as a kid. Now I'm just afraid of fucking everything, have anxiety about everything. So like it really doesn't help. But if I would have been more into it back then, I feel like I wouldn't be as scared now.
Did you? I know I think we watched maybe one or two or something, but did you ever watch the Final Destination movies like when they were coming out and stuff?
No.
That would have made it
I wasn't
so
the
much
kid for
worse.
like scary movies or for like that type of stuff, like amusement parks and shit. I just
Uh-huh.
wasn't. And like I said, I don't know if it's because I just wasn't invited or
The
like,
Final Destination is the combination of exactly both of those.
yeah. And
So it would have fucked you up.
traumatized me now. Like I've
Yeah.
heard stories or like I've seen clips of it. I don't think I've ever watched them all like fully through,
Fully
which I
through.
would be down to do. But I have heard stories and like I do feel that way. Like for example, the tanning bed. Like I would never do it
Oh
because I'm
yeah.
scared. Like
Yeah.
I'm terrified.
Fucking fly went right by my ear.
Oh,
Sorry.
that happened to me the other day outside and I thought it was a bee. I was so scared too. Oh my god. Oh, Gina had a run in with a bee recently, you guys.
You guys, I don't know. And honestly, and I thought about it because I was like, oh, it never happened to me before. And it did like a week or so before that time.
Manifested that shit.
So there was a time where I was walking with my boss to like a unit and I walked under a tree and a bee landed right like by my sleeve.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, what the fuck? And I like, I shoot it off. But
Freaking
I
out.
didn't, yeah, I just like got it off really quick. But there was a time, not too far long ago, where I was wearing these flowy pants and I had just came back into the office and I sat down and I felt something like crawling up my leg.
Ooh, you
So
know the
I
feeling.
rolled my pants up and I
Yeah,
seen something in the pant leg. Like I didn't even know what it was.
right.
But I just like shoot it off, and it was a bee and it landed on the floor. And it was one of those like not it, thank God it wasn't like a wasp or a hornet or nothing. It
Yeah.
was like an actual little bee. And it just
A
landed on
honey.
the floor, was barely kind of moving around, like just kind of stayed there, was very calm.
Uh-huh.
But I freaked out, right? Because I'm like, it was in my pant
Yeah, it was
leg.
touching you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what's it called? But because it was so calm and it didn't sting me, I felt bad to like to just
Kill
step
it.
on it because my boss was like, just step on it. I was like, no, for some reason I just felt bad about it. So I like grabbed a cup, put it outside, and I was trying to be all like, oh, Snow White, look at me being all freaking nice with this animal or this freaking insect. And
You
I go
get
to like put it
swarmed.
in a plant, and then I move the cup to make sure that it let off onto the plant, and it was still in the cup. So I threw the cup, I ran back inside, and then I went back out after like a minute, grabbed the cup, it
Yeah,
was gone. So then I threw the cup away, and it
right.
was fine. But what the fuck is going on that twice I've had bee encounters where they landed on me?
Encounters is crazy.
Oh,
And mind you, Gina hates bugs, like
yeah.
spiders, any type of, I mean, ants are annoying, but I don't think you're afraid of them. But like
No.
any type of bug, beetle,
No.
anything like that, Gina's not down.
I'm out. I'm like down the street in 0.2 seconds.
She's
I
down, but not in the
swear.
way you think.
I swear. It's not an exaggeration. I
Oh
will
my
be
god.
fucking out of there.
And what's good about us though is that like if we're together and I see a bug, like I don't like it, but I'll be the one to kill it. And like I'll
Uh,
take one for the team. It doesn't bother me as much. So I feel good. Like that's the one thing I can do for you.
yeah, I can't. It's just not it.
Like you might
I
have
don't
to
know what
hype
to
me up
do.
a couple times, but I'll do it, you know?
I'll do that from like around the corner. I'm like,
Call
you
me
got
on the
it.
phone.
You got it.
Oh my god, yeah. I think the longer you think about it and you're just looking at the bug, thinking about it, the harder it is to actually kill it or like just smash
Yeah.
it, you know?
I remember there was one time where there was a spider in my room, and I had my friend Nessa. I had Nessa over, and I was like, you know what? Like, I got my girl here. I'm gonna be all brave, and I'm gonna kill this spider on my own.
This is my
And so,
house.
yeah, so I grabbed the paper towel, and I went and I just looked at the spider,
Yeah.
and I went into a full squat, like butt almost touching the floor, full
Yeah.
squat. I was like,
About to
I don't think
cry.
I can do it. I was like, you
Yeah.
know what? I don't think I can do it. And she was dying at me. She left. I ended up having to get my dad and have him come kill it.
Uh-huh.
Or there was like another time where there was a mosquito, and I had
Oh, I
something
hate
trying to hit it, and
those.
it started flying right towards me closer. You know,
Said
like the ones
it
that
was you.
yeah. And I was like swinging, throwing punches, doing
Oh
everything.
my
And I
god.
don't even think I ever ended up getting it, but I freaked
Yeah.
out.
Dude, I got
But
a
all
mosquito bite on my face.
huh?
I got a mosquito bite on my face.
No.
Yeah,
Does it itch?
it did. It doesn't anymore because it's healing. But I also had one right here. I think you
Oh
could see
yeah.
like the little mark. We had one in the house, and I guess I fell asleep with like this side of my face up, and I got one. And then a few days later, I got another one. But I did find the mosquito dead on the stove, like on the white part of the stove, not on the burners, but like on the
Uh-huh.
other side. It was just on its back dead. So I'm like, did I
Was
something?
that me?
Yeah. I was like, is there something wrong with me?
You're like, you know what? Well, that's what you fucking get.
Truly.
Didn't
Truly.
nobody tell you to fucking sting me or bite me or whatever the fuck
For
it is that
real.
they
Whatever
do?
the hell they do. And they have like multiple needle. This is a whole ass other thing, but I learned this on TikTok that they have like multiple of their little needle things that goes into you. One of them that is like not numbing, but like pretty much. And then another one that actually takes the blood, and then another one that goes into a different layer. I don't know what its purpose is, but I was just like, what the fuck? Because you don't even feel it sometimes until you see it and you're like, oh, then it like
Which
hits your brain.
honestly kind of grosses me out more because it's like, how
Right.
much time were they landed on me? Like,
And
how
like,
long
how
have you
much
been here?
blood did you really get? Because have you ever killed one and
Yeah.
like your blood literally comes out?
No.
Dude, yeah, I had one on my forehead one time. I was eating a Subway sandwich, and my brother came over and slapped the shit out of my face, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? Because I didn't know there was a mosquito,
Yeah.
and I went like this, and there was hella blood on my hand. It was weird.
No.
Little vampires out here.
Yeah, that's really fucking gross.
Yeah, fuck bugs, honestly. Whatever they're fucking good for. Okay. The last one is really not that big of a deal, but like the more expensive Ziploc baggies that actually have the zipper,
Uh-huh.
luxury.
And they even have the reusable ones now. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, those are crazy.
The ones that you like wash, they're not
Yeah.
plastic, they're like, I don't know,
I don't know what you would
hard
call it
plastic.
too.
I don't know.
I don't, but they're still like the
Yeah.
flimsy. I don't even know. I don't know.
Well, y'all know what we're talking about. Go to the fucking Ziploc aisle and you'll figure it out.
Check
But the
Amazon.
ones that actually you didn't have to like specifically like pinch closed,
Yeah.
because
And if
those
you
ones
had the
would
cheap
rip
ones,
too.
like it wasn't the actual
They don't
Ziploc
even
brand,
close.
they don't fucking close.
You have to fold it in and like fold the other piece. Yeah, no. I have
Yeah.
those actually right now. They're good for like grapes. Like if you just throw some grapes in
Mm,
there and then fold that one part over.
yeah.
And then similar vibe, things that you were told either from your parents or maybe your siblings or whatever that now is just like a plain lie. Like just flat out so stupid that we even
Believed it.
listen to it or yeah, we're like gullible
Mhm.
enough to believe it. That's what our next topic is. And if you guys have any of these, let us know down below because we'd love to see if ours are the same as yours or if you guys have like different ones. Because maybe y'all were rich and like the things that you guys think were luxury, we didn't even think about because that's out of our realm.
Right.
Out of our realm. So let us know. But things that this one my dad told me. I remember specifically, I for some reason didn't want to wear my seatbelt in the car. I
Huh.
don't know why. But he used to tell me that like if a cop drives by, they have a scanner that can tell if you have your seatbelt on or not. And that he would get in trouble and like get, pulled over or whatever.
Honestly, that's a really good one.
I
I'd never
believed it
heard that
until
one
very recently.
because then you see them all posted up on the side and they have their radar things.
Yeah,
You're like, oh my
I didn't
God,
know
they're
what the
doing
hell it
it.
was for.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna
That's
get
such a
me.
good one. Like
I might
for
use
as a
it. You
parent,
never know.
that's hella funny.
Yeah,
No, I
he's
never got told that one, but I definitely got told the one about like if the light's on in the car, like, oh,
yes,
I'm gonna get a ticket for that. Like
the
if you leave
inside
the light,
part.
and I'm
The
like, I
light.
get now as a driver, having it on
It could be
for however
distracting.
long, like it gets distracting at some point.
Yeah.
I definitely get that. But why was it like a universal thing
Yeah, like
that
it's
every
illegal.
parent said, yeah, it's illegal, you'll get a ticket or whatever, I'll
Yeah.
get in trouble if I have the light on? I'm like, then why the hell is there a light? Like, why did they put
Exactly.
the light there if you
Multiple
can't
of
have it
them.
on?
There's some
Yeah.
back here, there's some in the front. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Ours even has some on the door, like under the hand.
Yeah.
Like, for what? That's so funny. But yeah, he used to tell me that one. Both of those, actually. And then, like, if you eat something that has seeds, like watermelon, and you're not supposed to eat like the black seeds, I guess the white ones are fine, right?
Oh,
You're not
uh-huh.
supposed to eat like the black seeds, I guess, or you buy like the seedless ones or whatever. They used to tell me like, oh, like if you eat the black ones, then a watermelon's gonna grow in your stomach. And I was like, oh my God, like that's
And
not
you
good.
see someone pregnant and you're like, she ate a watermelon.
I don't know.
She ate the seed.
Damn, the watermelon got her too.
Yeah. They're like, see? What? You see that? That's what's gonna happen.
Or if you have too many carrots, you're gonna turn orange or like shit like that.
They used to tell me if I didn't drink my glass of milk in the morning,
Huh.
that I'd break my bones a
Your
lot
teeth would fall
easier.
out.
Like that, yeah, like you
Yeah.
had to drink your glass of milk before leaving the
Yeah.
house.
Why was that such a thing? Like every fucking meal we would have with milk.
Ugh, no, it was only in the morning. I
Oh,
only
really?
had it, yeah,
I
only in the
would drink
mornings.
milk sometimes like with dinner even. Like, why did I do that?
Well, that to me is like school. Like when the school would give you a
Oh,
fucking
true.
chocolate milk with like, I don't
Would you
know.
ever get the plain milk or would you always get chocolate?
No, I couldn't do the plain milk. And the thing
Yeah.
is like
Me
I even didn't
neither. It
really
was
like the
gross.
chocolate that much, but
Yeah.
I'm not doing the
Better.
plain milk with the carton flavor. You know what
Right.
I'm
It
saying?
literally tasted like dust. Like that
Yes.
cardboardy.
I mean, it is what it is. Like it was
Yeah.
chalky. It was very
Yes.
chalky.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So you can only really have it cold. Because once it got lukewarm or like barely room temperature,
Forget it.
yeah.
I'm not drinking this no more. Or the times that they would give you the little popsicle.
The cone ones that like
Yes, yeah.
those were so good.
So fucking good. Or
When they
the
had that like
apple
one or
juice.
two barbecue days, and so you'd get the
Yeah, when you
burger.
get the hamburger, hell yeah. And why was it always so good?
It's so good.
And with like one slice of watermelon.
Yeah.
And then the other one, my grandparents would tell us like if you sit too close to the TV, like it'll make
Yeah.
you go blind or like your eyes are
You're
gonna
gonna
go
fuck up your eyes.
cross-eyed. Or
Yeah.
like you know how you make silly faces? Like
Huh.
as a kid, you would just make silly faces or
Oh, so you're gonna get
go
stuck like
cross-eyed.
that?
They'd be like, "Oh, if someone hits you on the head at the same time, that is gonna get stuck." Like,
Well, I heard that with like crossing your eyes. Like, you know, when you learn to cross your eyes, you want to do it all the time.
yeah,
And so then my dad would say, like, you're gonna get your eyes stuck like that if you keep
right.
doing it. But honestly, like it would give me a headache, like doing it for so long. So I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that.
like it's starting already.
Yeah. Or like then my mom used to tell me, and she would still do this with my niece. She said that like, how would you say like the boogeyman, you know, like, oh, if you don't go to sleep or if you don't start acting right, like the
Yeah,
boogeyman's gonna come
he's
get
gonna
you. Like,
come.
oh, he's out the window, like I just seen him looking, he can hear
That's
you.
so scary. As a kid.
Like and then if you like scream or cry or something, they're like, he can hear that. If you keep
Yeah,
crying, he's gonna come get you.
like he can hear everything.
Yeah.
That's so scary. What does
I'm
Mel
like,
do?
she I don't know
He gets
if
scared.
anymore,
Uh-huh.
but she believed that shit. She would, and if you
He's
were to be
gonna be
like,
on the
okay,
pod.
like, you know what, I'm just gonna go get him then. Actually, like, I'll go grab him, and then someone pretends to walk out the door. She's like, no. We're like, okay,
Someone
then,
in a
okay.
Halloween costume. You gotta keep it in the garage just in case.
Y'all don't come for us. It's just, it's kind of like a Latino rite of passage.
All in good fun.
Like it's things you grow up in, and it's just a joke. But like
You know,
one thing for me that's so annoying, like
uh-huh.
again, when it comes to the gentle parenting, like I definitely get that to an extent, right?
Right.
But there was like that thing that was going around of like breaking an egg on
Oh
like
my
on your head,
god.
and then I
Yeah.
started seeing, and I was like, it's so funny, like it's just like it's so lighthearted,
Not
and
that
then
serious.
I seen like videos where like, I'm not gonna be my child's first bully. Can I hit it on your head? And they're like, no. They're like, okay. And then I'm like, dude, it's an
Why did even
egg.
post the video?
Exactly. I'm like, first off, it's not a bully. Like you also, I feel like you have to also teach your kids not to take themselves so seriously. Like,
And not taking everything serious.
yeah, like things can be a joke. And if like they didn't like it, I'll be like, okay, here, you do it to me now. Like, get me
Yeah.
back. Like let's just make
Right.
it a fun, like funny thing. I don't understand why it has to be so serious and deep. Like
And
it's
this
just,
one moment with the egg
yeah,
is
you act like
not going
every
to be,
day you're smacking your
yeah.
kids with some fucking egg.
This one moment's gonna traumatize them. Like, let's be
Yeah,
real. You could be the best parent, but your kid's still gonna be traumatized or have
by
trauma from
something.
something. And it's not gonna
Yeah.
be from you cracking an egg on their fucking forehead.
Yeah.
Like, let's just be so real.
Kids will cry if you take away something from them that they want in that moment.
Yeah.
If they cry because you broke the egg, like it's not going to be the worst thing in the world.
Exactly. I'm like, dude, get over it. That's not gonna be the core memory that fucks your kid up for the rest of their life. Like,
Now they're a completely whole different person because
yeah.
the one time you cracked an egg on their head.
Yeah. And I've been seeing a lot more videos. There's this one creator, her name is Sabrina, and she talks a lot about how, like, just because you're gentle parenting or going that route doesn't mean that your kid runs the household. But she's
Right.
basically saying, like, you don't have to instill fear on your child to gain their respect.
Right.
She's saying, like, they parent from a place of respect that's just mutual,
Yeah.
And that's how she created the way that her kids are now.
Yeah.
Excuse me. She has two daughters, and I'm not sure if their ages. I know one of them is in like kindergarten or like pre-K, and the other one's not in school yet. So they're fairly young, maybe like 4 and under. And she's like, my kids act crazy sometimes. Like my kids act up or this and that. Like she was screaming in a shoe store when she went with her husband recently. And instead of like taking her kid out and like causing this whole thing, she like brought her to a quiet corner and like helped her regulate her emotions, and then they went about their shopping experience. But she's saying, like, with gentle parenting, it's more so like, as a child or even as an adult, some of us don't know how to regulate our emotions now.
Yeah.
So how the hell can you expect a child to be able to do that when
Yeah.
they don't even know what that means,
Yeah.
So she's more so like, I bring her to like a place where she can't hurt herself or others or like be distracted by other people. We regulate her emotions, and I just go on about my day. And I'm like, honestly, that's not even that bad. And I don't think that's giving into their tantrum or whatever. Like kids are gonna
No.
have tantrums. We have tantrums as adults.
Yeah.
Like, it's just stupid to me.
And honestly, that's why I like the Montessori,
Yeah,
teaching style
style.
method so much, because
Yeah.
it's really based a lot on that. And
It
then,
goes hand in
obviously
hand, I feel
instilling,
like.
yeah, like, and then
Mhm.
obviously instilling that like independence and confidence within themselves.
Right.
But it's like you can, and I learned a lot doing that, because I feel like if I didn't have that, knowledge
Background.
then,
Yeah.
like now I maybe would still be trying to like figure it out or get to learn about that stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's like I love that I learned it, and I love that it's becoming more natural in people's parenting styles too, rather than just the school that they're putting them in. But I just feel like there's some people who take it to an extreme where it's
For
like,
sure.
oh, well, my kid's throwing like this tantrum. Because it's like also you regulate your kids' emotions, you know what they do, but there's also times where kids do test you. And you
Yeah,
need to know the difference with your own children of when
exactly.
it's like, hey, I need to be like, at this point, I'm just gonna be firm with you. Like, you know what you're not supposed to be doing and you're doing
Right.
it. So like we're not doing that. Like
Exactly.
that, I'm not having it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, something clearly is wrong here, and we need to just figure this out. Like,
There's like a
let's take a
disconnect.
break. Yeah, like let's just take a second. We'll figure it out.
Right.
So I feel like it's like, but if you're firm with them, they're like, oh my God, you're just,
You're mean.
yeah, and it's like,
And it really
okay,
doesn't matter to me if your child is responding to it and your child knows that you're not being mean or just doing it
right.
just to be an a-hole. I could care less what anybody else has to say. If it's working for me and it's in a healthy manner, I don't
Hmm.
care that Karen from fucking TikTok has a problem with it, you know?
Exactly. Because
Like,
everyone's
you
gonna have
don't
a
even
fucking
know my
opinion.
kid. Fuck out
I'm
of
like, you
here.
don't know my family. Like, you don't know my
Exactly.
family dynamic. So you can't speak on however it is
And
like
even
we're
with
doing.
siblings, like one kid might respond to it very much and
Oh,
like
hell
do
yeah.
really well with it, and then the other child might struggle with it to where you have to think of something else creative to freaking do
Even
as
the same
like
kid.
punishment. Yeah. And it's just
Yeah.
like not everything's gonna work every time. And
Yeah.
I feel like even though we're not parents, I could see how it could get overwhelming trying to constantly be this like what do you call it? Like if you're always trying to be so understanding and so
Uh-huh.
like I don't know what the word would be, like uppity and always trying to be
And
perfect
I feel
type.
like that doesn't really teach your kid that much either, because then they're not even
That's not
like,
your
you're teaching
authentic
them
self.
about their feelings, but then you're not teaching them about, okay, hey, when you're doing that, that also makes me feel a type of way, or like that
Right.
hurt my feeling. Like, I'm in this moment, I'm stressed out and I
Yeah.
don't want to take it out on you. So like, let's take a second
Yeah.
to both just kind of recollect a little bit,
Right.
because then it's also showing like that healthy way of being like, hey, I'm upset right now, or
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed,
Like
and
sometimes I need a
handling that
break.
in a healthy way rather
Yeah.
than just having to fake it,
Right.
you know obviously this is like in different ways, not like a 3 year
No,
old's gonna fully understand that, but like,
exactly. Yeah.
to
Like
where they
age
can
appropriate.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She even was saying how, like, how some, I think grandparents especially, they'll be like, oh, you better come say bye to me or blah, blah, blah. And like kind
Mhm.
of forcing the kid to like give them a hug or a kiss or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, I don't make my kids do that. She's like, I ask my daughters, like, do you want to go give them a hug? Do you want to say bye? Blah, blah, blah. And if they say no, then they say no. She's like, I just pretty much tell the adult, like, oh, they don't want to say bye, like this and that. And you know how some parents will, or grandparents especially, or aunts and uncles, they'll
Uh-huh.
be like, oh, like you're making me so sad, or oh, now I'm gonna go cry and blah, blah,
Uh-huh.
blah. She said that she has the type of relationship with them to where she can be like telling her kids, like, oh, grandma says she's sad, but she should like regulate her own emotions, huh? Like that
Uh-huh.
shouldn't fall on you and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I see that to a certain extent, but I feel like sometimes it could come off rude, you know?
I was gonna say, I was like, I definitely agree with, you don't have to hug or kiss if you don't want to.
Yeah.
But I think also just it's respectful if you're
To
going to,
acknowledge them
especially, yeah, to acknowledge somebody. Yeah, I
when
think
you're
it's respectful for them to say hi and then say bye. But you don't
yeah,
have to give the hug and kiss. Like, even if it's just like, oh, bye, or like,
a
I don't know,
handshake,
high
high
five,
five.
yeah,
Yeah.
fist bump, I don't know, like, but I think it is kind of rude to not acknowledge somebody when you get
Right.
someplace
She's like,
or when you're
okay.
leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even just saying like bye to a group of people, like if you're really feeling uncomfortable, just be like, okay, bye everyone, or
Right.
something, you
Because
know?
there's certain family members that you feel more comfortable with than others.
Yeah.
I still to this day am not a huge fan of like having to go to each individual person and do the whole hug and kiss. And
Yeah. It's a lot.
it is a lot. And then having to do the same thing to say bye.
Hmm.
It's one of those things where it's
You
Like
dread it when it's coming up.
can't really do anything about it because that's how you were raised and like you're
Yeah.
supposed to do that, but it's very much an annoying thing and I get like anxiety about it.
Yeah,
I'll be
for
like,
sure.
oh, but there's certain people where I don't mind going over to them and then certain
Mhm.
people where I'm like I don't want to talk to you at all.
Yeah.
So there's that, but you know
I feel like
our
probably
kids will see it
as we
differently.
get older and like that next generation coming up will get older, it'd be more kind of normal to just be like, hey, everyone, or bye everyone. Like,
Exactly,
okay,
if we're
you
not
know.
pushing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you want to do the wisdom of the week, Gina?
Ooh, okay. Give me a second. Let me pull it up. All right. Wisdom of the week this week is you can't plant yourself in people's perceptions and expect to bloom from their ideas of you.
Mic
Mic
drop.
drop. No, that's really good. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
That's definitely something kind of got to work on people pleasing wise.
Yeah. I can't wait to be a retired people pleaser.
Oh, I know. Huh? Shit.
I think we're making big leaps
Progress.
and
Yeah.
in progress, yeah. Um but it's just so to your core that it's so hard to like break it completely.
Hmm.
Because as different situations come up, you might be okay with things that have happened in the past and being like, oh well, that is what it is. But
Yeah.
when something new comes, you're like, ooh. Your
Yeah.
first reaction is to
You
people.
revert right back.
Yeah. It's hard. It's really hard. But I think also being more open about someone's expectations of you. For example, if they're asking you for a favor or something, asking straight up direct, like, what are your expectations for XYZ?
Yeah.
Because if that's not something that you were thinking in your head and they're thinking like you should be doing this and you're not, then
Hmm.
that can be like a situation.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing, like someone's perception, but also like their expectations, because you don't know what someone else is thinking about you in general at all
Yeah.
times.
I seen this lady like talking about where she was like being okay with or getting more comfortable with discomfort rather than resentment. And
Mm,
it's like she was kind of talking about like the people pleasing pretty much, where she was like, she gave the example of, let's say, like at a PTA meeting,
yeah,
and they asked her, like, oh, so and so, like, can you make 500 cookies for our next bake sale?
yeah.
And instead of just going through the discomfort and being like, no, I can't do that, or I'm just going to do this much,
Or stressing you out to do it,
yeah.
stressing yourself
And
out to
then
do it.
instead of saying yes, and then now you're like you're stressed out
Yeah,
when you're at home, like you're gonna be stressed out with your family. You're not gonna be giving your best self to them because you just
right.
agreed to do this huge thing and take on this huge thing rather than just being like, you know what? No, I can't do that. Like,
Yeah,
sorry. And taking that uncomfortable moment and that in the moment rather than,
right.
the alternative.
Saving you. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's true.
And allowing no to be a sentence, like a full sentence. No.
Yeah.
Or no, I don't want to do that.
Like, oh no, can't do it.
Yeah. Because
Yep.
anytime I get invited to something or like I know something's coming up, I'm like, oh shoot, like I'm gonna have to do this, and this, and it becomes like a chore versus
Yeah.
I actually want to go and do that,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
That's hard. But instead, just saying no in the beginning and then not having to feel the guilt behind it would be great,
Yeah, for sure.
Because even if you do say no and you really truly didn't want to go do whatever it was, now you're feeling guilty because you're like, oh, what if
Was that
someone,
rude or
yeah, was it rude? Or like, is someone gonna feel like, oh,
the
why
way?
isn't she coming? Or yeah, like, I don't know. It's just,
And that's the discomfort part of it where we're like,
yeah,
oh, like I should have just agreed and made the person happy in the moment or something, but then
right.
like you're
But then you're
unhappy with it
miserable.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't have to sacrifice your own happiness or not saying your own comfort because things are going to be uncomfortable, but that's how you
Yeah.
learn and grow. So
Yeah.
the next
You
time it
have to get
probably,
comfortable with being uncomfortable.
yeah. So it's like you have to more so do it now so that way the next time it's easier, you know?
Hmm.
And truly, truly only doing and going to do things that you want to do. Like, of
Yeah.
course, there's going to be mundane,
Moments.
like
Yeah.
tasks as just being a freaking person in society that you're not going to really want to do, like going to DMV and shit like that.
Uh-huh.
You can't really say no to those things, but in the things that you get invited to or the things that are supposed to be on your days off or something, like truly only doing things that you want to do and that you're happy about, I feel like would go such a long way.
Yeah.
So we'll get there. We will.
But that's our wisdom. It's for not only for you guys, for us too, because
Yeah.
Lord knows we need it.
We needs it. We needs it in an IV.
Drop some of your guys' wisdom
Yeah.
somewhere in the comments or wherever you're watching this on.
Leave it in the question box on Spotify. If you're on Spotify, you can leave a review on Apple. You can leave a comment on YouTube or on Instagram. Let us know.
Thanks in advance.
If you choose to participate, we love you. And if you even stayed this far into this episode, we also love you.
Yeah, very grateful.
Yeah. And hopefully these things that we brought up spark some nostalgia or like something in here, you know? And it's so crazy. Like everything going on in the world is so crazy. And if we can just get you out of your situation or out of your head, because it gets crazy in there too, without all the outside factors, if we can just help you laugh and just be chilling with us 1 hour a week or so, that's all we're here for. So don't take us too seriously. If we say something that offends you, be offended. I don't care.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Like, truly, if you have a different opinion, it
We're gonna
doesn't
laugh.
matter if it's different from our opinion. If we have a
Right.
different opinion from you, it's not doesn't matter what from your opinion. Like
Yeah, we
it's
respect your
fine.
opinion.
People can have different opinions, and that's okay.
Right. We just most of the time have the same one, and that's why we're here. Okay. And we love you guys so much, and we appreciate you
Catch you on the next one.
still being here. We'll be here again. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.